What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and oh man, we got a response from Uncle Murda, specifically Anthony Yayo, regarding Memphis Bleek. And if you don't know, Memphis Bleek went recently on The Breakfast Club and basically disrespected mainly Tony Yayo, but he also went at Uncle Murda to a certain extent. And he said a lot of disrespectful things. He basically said, like, these guys are dependents on 50 and that they don't have their own businesses, and that if 50 wasn't touring or doing any of that stuff, they would be in shelters, which is insanely disrespectful. To say somebody would be homeless because of another man not doing something is like the ultimate form of disrespect. But not only that, he starts to mention, like, do these guys have houses? Do these guys even have families that they go and hang out with and take care of and all that, which is, like, to me personally, that starts to get to, like, more personal stuff. And when you're bringing in families and kids and stuff, it's like, I think that's too far. But yeah, so he basically went on this crazy rant, and it caught headlines all over. But this was roughly like a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago.
If 50 said 1 year, these will be in a shelter, they shouldn't be allowed to talk about us or anybody when you literally are a dependent.
So people were waiting on, Uncle Murda and Tony Yayo to respond. And the response is here. They appeared on $1 Million Worth of Game, and Gilly asked them about what Memphis Bleek said. I'm going to play Uncle Murda's clip first because he's the one that goes off. You can tell, like, what Bleek said kind of got to him to a certain extent. And he lists all his businesses. He says, hey, I went to Disney with my kids, 12 kids, 13 kids. He said, I brought with me, I'm not going to be in a homeless shelter. I just did a deal with, I think, Empire for $1 million or 7 figures. He said he didn't mention a specific number. We have the podcast deal. We're doing all these other things. We have a dispo and all this stuff. So check out this clip.
And I know Bleek said he got a restaurant. I don't mind. We can do this too. We could go, let's see what you made last month, and we could show what we made last month, and we could continue to do month for month to see who's making more money as far as that business is concerned. We could go business for business as far as that, right? And we could go Bitcoin for Bitcoin because I got a bunch of those too. So as far as me being back in the hood, that would never happen. And we could show houses too. I got a pool. We could show who houses, flyer, and all type. We could do that. We could go Bitcoin for Bitcoin. Hold on. All that. We could go Bitcoin for Bitcoin. We could do this. And not to mention, we got a nice check from Valium to even do this podcast, right? We getting paid like real good money to do this podcast. And on top of that,
fastest growing podcast.
And on top of that, I heard him talk about, he put out, because I didn't know he was talking about me. Like, I'm surprised. Bleek, we both from Brooklyn. I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
I'm going to retract that.
I'm surprised. But no, hold on.
I just thought he said
I'm surprised. He was talking about me like, damn, nigga. But on top of that, shout out to Ghazi and Nima. That's Empire. I just did a deal with them for 7 figures with my music. So I get paid to put out music as well. So as far as I got to deal with Empire, I get paid to put out music, right? My dispensary is doing fucking great. Shout out to my niggas Mo, West, the whole indoor, the unit dispo, right? We getting podcast money as well. And the nigga get a whole lot of money with 50. It's great to perform with 50.
All over the world?
All over the world. It's great to perform with 50 all over the world. A nigga damn near perform with 50 probably at least 10 to 12 times out the month. That's what you call a bag. It's hustling. Don't depend on 50, but get money with 50. And I salute that and I appreciate that like a mother. And with 50 creates other opportunities to get money. That's how it was easy to get the dispo and things of that like that. So it's a blessing to with this 50. But the nigga nigga's not depending on 50 to get no money. Like, what the fuck is talking about? It's crazy, man.
It's hustling.
And the only Bleek, hold up, man. And the only, hold up, man. And the only Bleek verse I ever fucking like is the one that Jay-Z wrote. The only Bleek verse I ever like is the one that Jay-Z wrote. I ain't never like a Bleek verse that he wrote by himself. Fuck out of here. No Memphis Bleek fans like that neither, nigga.
All right, yo, look.
But damn, I'm surprised you talked about me, Bleek.
Now look. I ain't gonna listen.
You said he said something about me.
Don't worry.
I ain't with that. Yo, niggas talk about. I ain't with it.
I said.
I ain't with it.
If
a nigga be back in the hood, is you crazy?
About me more, right? So a
yeah,
nigga
back
said,
to that shit.
right? Why you standing like
Now I'm just saying back to that. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, you on
back to
100
that.
right now.
Yeah, I am. I'm on 1,000.
That's
look.
legit Lenny.
I'm
yeah.
on 1,000, nigga.
You talking about
We
legit
can go
Lenny,
Bitcoin
nigga.
for
But look,
Bitcoin,
but look.
bank account for bank account, and business statements for business statements.
look.
And we could do it next week.
Yo, look.
And let's check the transactions. You know how you can scratch it out so nobody wire nobody nothing. Let's see how much money really got. And check the safe. Because we got the safe money too. I got a safe in the crib. And I just took my kids first class flights on Disney. We was in Disney World. I do with the kids.
Now,
You heard? It was me and 2 of the homies and 13 kids. Oh, we do with the kids.
All right, Murda, could I get
And my daughter be in college next year. Pardon me, I'm turned up.
ahead.
And the kids is in swimming school.
But you turned up
Because I got a
already.
big swimming pool in the backyard.
Now look. Now,
Do you got a pool?
no, so look. Now.
I'm just being clear.
All right, now look.
Go ahead, yeah.
All right, thank you.
And as you can see, Murda was on 1,000. He was really, really irritated by what Bleek said because, I think that the part that gets to them is the, saying that they would be in shelters and bringing family and kids into it. I think that's too far. The family and kids thing is just like crazy and out of there. But if you're talking about money, bank for bank, whatever, that's grown adult stuff. You guys can argue back and forth about that. And then Tony Yayo, drops his 2 cents in it. And Yayo's more calm about it. But basically, Yayo just repeats that, hey, we're doing this.
Jay don't gotta take care of him. You know
But
what
nobody's taking
But-
care of me.
I mean? But hold on, let me finish.
That's where you're
right?
getting it wrong. I don't pay my
Hold on,
bills.
let
Don't
Gilly
pay
get
my
his point out
taxes.
first. Go ahead.
My
What you
first
about-
house is
let-
bought off my
let him get his
album.
point out. Go ahead. What you
He
about to say,
said,
Gil?
he said,
Uh-huh.
I'm glad you came in. I'm glad you
Yeah,
clearing
come on,
a
man.
lot of this up with the
What stripes
dispensaries
niggas got? Go
and
ahead,
what
go ahead.
businesses, you know what I mean?
We're going to talk about what
But-
stripes niggas got too next.
He said something pertaining to YouTube murder about
He
if
said something about me.
if
I ain't hear this.
Oh, you did? Oh,
no, I ain't know he said something about me.
Maybe it
Damn,
wasn't
Bleek,
you.
you
then.
talking about me?
No, maybe
nigga?
it wasn't you.
Oh, okay.
If 50 stopped fucking with for a year, it'll be over.
I will be in a trap. What is you talking about? If I can't, I'm still a street. I'm not on Jay-Z, Nas and them level. It's cool. I was making money before. Like niggas would be like, yo, Yayo was a pack pumper. No, I was getting money on 134 and God Brewer.
Let me say this.
You
Let me
can
say
ask
this.
niggas.
Let me say this.
Essentially, if you look at this whole thing, it's just Yayo saying that, Jay-Z does take care of Bleek to a certain extent, but basically what Yayo's overall saying is that he doesn't give Bleek opportunities like 50 does them. He basically, 50 puts Yayo and Murda in the same rooms as him to meet the same people, versus Jay-Z goes and meets billionaires like the former Twitter owner and hangs out with the white party, Michael Rubin, but Bleek is not with him in there to bring him in that room. So he's basically saying that, yes, Jay-Z does help Bleek to a certain extent. Same with 50 and Yayo, but he doesn't look out for him to like meet new people and build business relationships, because 50 and Jay are at different levels. They get into different rooms. They have a different star power versus Bleek and Yayo. They're at a different tier, a lower tier, and they can't get as much access as those two. So basically Yayo is just saying, hey, we get more access than what Bleek does, and that 50 looks out more. After that response on $1 million worth of game from Yayo and Murda, Memphis Bleek immediately responded to what Murda said about him only having one good verse that was written by Jay-Z. And he responded on Twitter and said this: he tight, bunch of laughing emojis. He says, I got one, he got none. He better go get one. Basically talking about having at least one good verse versus Uncle Murda not having a single good verse. And to be honest with you, I don't know a lot of Memphis Bleek music, and I don't know a lot of Uncle Murda music. I don't listen to them too. I know actually Yayo's music more because of his debut album. His album was huge, Thoughts of a Predicate Felon. Because So Seductive, I Know You Don't Love Me, all these other records. But in terms of Memphis Bleek, I know around here, that's probably one of my favorite records, but I never really listened to Bleek like that. I wasn't a fan. Same with Murda. I didn't listen to Murda like that. I know he has those year-round raps, which are cool, but I don't really listen to him either. So musically on both of their ends, I don't, I think Yayo is actually better than all of them in my opinion. But yeah, I think overall, this is a situation that just, I think it's gotten out of hand. And at the end of the day, they both all depend on either Jay or 50 to a certain extent. I'm not saying that they're sitting on their asses not doing anything, but that's the benefit of it. Like knowing somebody at that level and being with them before they were famous. Not Murda, obviously, because he wasn't with 50 before he was famous, but Yayo and Bleek, I'm talking about them too. they put in the groundwork. They were with these guys before they made it. So they should get the perks of being able to go into rooms that they couldn't do by themselves. They should be able to make money with them. Like, they were loyal, you know, from the early stages. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, not everybody can be a 50 or a J. There has to be people that can be a Yayo or a Bleek, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, right now, 99.9% of people would trade their lives to be in Yayo's position or Bleek's position and take on all the onslaught of, oh, you're getting taken care of by 50, you're getting taken care of by Jay-Z. Like, I would take that onslaught, no problem. I had no issues with people trolling me online about that. And they troll Bleek and Yayo about that all the time. But who cares? They're rich. I could care less. If I was in that position, I wouldn't care less what the people on the internet say, because 99.9% of the people on the internet would love to trade their lives with them too. Who wouldn't? You get to travel the world. You get to get thousands upon hundreds of thousands to potentially millions. You're somewhat famous. You're not too famous to where you can't go out, but you're famous that, you know, people recognize you every now and then. And yeah, you don't have to do all the groundwork like 50 and J. You know, because some people don't want to be on that 50 and J level because it gets annoying. You can't go anywhere. Everybody recognizes you. You have a lot more obligations versus a Bleek and Yayo. They get to chill out a little bit more. They get to do kind of cool things on the side, and, you know, they're not as globally recognized. But overall, this is corny. I think, you know, if they really want to put money where their mouth is, like Murda said, put bank account in a bank account, you know, and just, hey, that's the only way you can shut people up. But ultimately, you know, Murda and Yayo were just saying, hey, we have our own businesses. We have our own thing going that is not reliant on a 50. Like, yeah, did some of these deals happen because of 50? Of course. But the same thing with Bleek. You think Bleek, if he had no ties to Jay-Z anymore, look at Dame Dash, no disrespect to him. No ties to Jay-Z. They know that he doesn't mess with Jay-Z. Dame Dash doesn't have as great as opportunities as like a Bleek does, because Bleek is still cool with Jay-Z. So people look at it as like, oh, if I help Bleek, maybe Bleek can help me get to Jay-Z. Unfortunately, that's how people look at it, at least majority of people. You know, so yeah, they all benefit off of Jay and 50. From Bleek's side to Murda's side to Yayo's side, they all benefit. You know, it looks like Yayo and Murda are more dependent on 50 because of the touring. But no, I mean, Jay-Z just doesn't tour. If Jay-Z actually toured, it would be, I don't know if Jay-Z would even bring Bleek with him, to be honest with you, which would be kind of disrespectful, but it is what it is. That's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community, where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also, follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.